for leading us through the first part of our norms. At this juncture, the floor is open to you, Rotarians and Rotaractors, to talk to Rotary. Share the information that you may have by raising your hand or by shooting the Shiga away. The room is so quiet. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, President, you are.
Great. Well, looks like Rotary is quiet. There is no information to share. I will just re-echo the call of
President.
Yes, CPKet.
Thank you very much. Good morning, President. Good morning, Rotarians and Rotaractors. This is a reminder about Saturday. We have the TRF dinner at Ndere Center beginning at 5 p.m. A ticket goes for 150,000. 30,000 goes direct to your TRF contribution. And the governor is looking forward to hosting all of us. And let's be there to recognize givers and to celebrate the culture of giving, which is the theme for this year. Thank you very much, President.
Thank you. Thank you very much, CPKet Barasa. And to the Daybreakers on call, we have a target of filling another table. We already filled one table and we had allocated 2 tables. So the call is upon us. Daybreakers, please make your contributions so that we can have the second table filled as well. My President, Marion, please submit. President Marion, I hope you can hear me. Could you please submit? Rotarian Sydney Suga, as President Marion prepares, maybe you can submit.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and friends on call. Greetings from the Rotary Club of Mbale. And the information I have is in line with educational literacy, especially now that the conversation is about BELEP. And this is to remind us of the 4th edition of the Wanale Climbing Challenge, which is a fundraiser event to support education of bright but vulnerable children around the eastern area. And this is a hike to Wanale, that beautiful cliff that you see as you get into Mbale. And we'll be doing this on the 25th of February, 2023. And participation is by a contribution of 30,000 shillings, and all proceeds go to the education fund of Rotary Club of Mbale to support this education. I'm looking forward to having all of you. We will have kits come through in the second week of December. On this call, we have so many other ambassadors, Marion being one of them. So if you cannot reach Sydney, reach Marion from the second week of December and you'll get yourself a kit. I'm looking forward to hosting you in Mbale. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My President Marion, are you ready to submit?
Yes, thank you, President. Sorry, my phone had jammed on mute. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd just like to remind us that December is a month of family and getting together. And we have started or launched as a district what we call the Rotary Family Carnival. It's going to be an annual event, and it's going to be every December, where we plan to kick or to end malaria as we have it at the end of 2030. But with that, we decided that we want to have a fundraiser or a carnival where we get together as family, besides just the Rotarians, that is our family back at home, our kids, an extended family, and we are going to get together in Las Vegas, Bunga on the 18th of December to have fun, but also to fundraise for the domestic basket for ending malaria in Uganda. Your children, 12 and above, will pay 30,000, and then the adults will pay 60,000. The tickets are available. The flyers are running all over. And this time we have a Momo Pay number apart from the usual or the bank account and all. So, President, let's have our kids, our families, and everyone come together on the 18th of December. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Rotarians, please let's support that cause to end malaria. DG Mike, I thought your hand was up. Talk to us.
Good morning, President.
Morning.
And good morning, all Rotarians on call. I just wanted to add to what Catherine Barasa, amazing President, and the new gifts, the big gifts chair indicate. We are requesting that clubs do share those that have been able to contribute to the foundation this year, the major donors, the multiple givers, so that they get recognized, because we want to celebrate the culture of giving. So that information should be in so that those members are mentioned and they are celebrated. Just also a reminder that before the dinner, the Rotary Family Fun Day hosted by Bukoto will be on, beginning 9 to about 4, so that people can then transit, get time to transit for the dinner. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for offering us this opportunity.
Thank you, amazing Governor, Dr. Mike Kennedy Sewaru, for that valuable piece of information. Colleagues, call Rotaractors, Rotarians, there is one opportunity in case you have something that is burning, you want Rotary to know, you have only one opportunity. Yes, Rotaractors, okay? Please submit.
Good morning, President, Rotarians, and Rotaractors on call. Dear President, this is slightly outside of Rotary, but part of us as well, as we are coming to the long-term holiday. Our own Rotarian Goretti Komrembe from RC Nabingo, she has organized a girls' retreat between 15 and 24 years. That workshop will be scheduled on the 17th of December at Royal Suits Bugorovi. I've able to share the flyer because the girl child is highly vulnerable in this Uganda of today. Over to you, President. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rotaractors, okay, for sharing that piece of information. Rotarians, Rotaractors, guests, Let's support the cause of the girl child as the opportunity avails itself. Rotarian CMP Frederick, over to you.
Thank you very much, amazing President Edward. My humble prayer, if possible, I could be given rights to share my screen. But before we do that, colleagues, it is always a great joy to have you. And today,
you have the right.
We have. Thank you very much. And today, as we did discuss with you at the very, thank you very much for the rights. Thank you, amazing President Edward. I think now I can share my screen. Yeah, we would like to delve deeper into the discussion of the TRF, this being a TRF month of the TRF and the BELEP District Global Grant. So with no much further ado, it is my privilege and honor to invite our moderator today in the person of none other than First Assistant Governor, Dr. James Onywen, who will unveil our panelists. Dr. James Onywen, over to you.
Thank you very much. If you can also enable my camera so that people see I'm still alive. Yes, very warm greetings to you all from Mombasa, where I am, and I'm extremely excited today to be at this event where we are talking about the BELEP District Global Grant and TRF contributions. And with me, we have very, very eminent panelists. I'm going to introduce them very, very briefly because I want to save a lot of time for the questions that you might have, because the purpose of this session is really to answer each and every question that you might have about the BELEP District Global Grant and TRF recognitions. Let me start with the introduction. I will start with the Rotarian Frederick Chitakule. Chitakule is the chair for the BELEP District Committee. You're welcome, Frederick. We have with us Nelson Kabuama, Rotarian Nelson Kabuama is the chair for the District Grants Committee. Nelson, you're welcome to the panel. We have with us James Nkoka, my namesake, Rotarian James Nkoka, is the member of the District Grants Committee. And last but not least, we have Peter Damuzungu, who is the member for the BELEP District Committee as well. Please, can you give a round of applause to our panelists? Okay, so let's get into the business. What I will do, I want to ask each of the panelists just a very brief question. In fact, one question each. I'll give you a maximum of 3 minutes because the questions might be in parts. So I want to start with the BELEP chair, Frederick Chitakule. Give us a quick update. July. So please give us a quick update. Also, while you do that, tell us, why do you want us as Rotary clubs to be part of the program? As Rotarians, as Rotaractors, why do you want us to be part of the program? Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, our moderator, for this morning. Again, our colleagues take us as far back as the 1st of July. I want to begin from a place of saying thank you to each and every single one of you, especially knowing that to this date, we have 104 Rotary clubs participating in the BELEP engagements. At a tune of 106 clubs, this is premised at 98.5% participation by the district by the Rotary Club. So thank you very, very, very much. Allow me to say that at the beginning of this very Rotary year, we rallied ourselves into what we dubbed as the Dear Day, where we dropped everything to read. And that was the successful event, but also on that very day, we're able to launch our program of basic education and literacy enhancement. And remember, this is guided by the mantra of this Rotary year, where we see amazing Rotarians doing amazing things in amazing ways to bring about not only amazing but lasting impact in the lives of our children, who constitute a quarter of population and the future of Uganda. To this day, question is, can you believe we are reaching far beyond? I will request, I think it sounds like Jaja Mzungu, and my apologies if not, if you could mute. Thank you very much. Imagine over 500 schools where today BELEP has a footprint. Over 500 schools. We don't take that for granted. Today, we are reaching as far wide as 48,820 pupils. Imagine impacting 48,820 pupils, and we are still counting. We are still counting. The target is that by the end of the year, we should reach beyond at least 50,000. I'm sure that we'll kickstart this even by the end of this year. So friends, I want to say thank you. Listen, I said we are going to do anything and everything we can to empower our teachers. To this day, we have reached far 2,562 teachers who have been empowered, and we continue to empower them. I want to say thank you very, very, very much. We agreed to donate as many readers as we can. As of today, we have donated over 20,000 readers to the schools. And friends, when it gets to the moment of the amazing success cards, you do not know how much impact that we have. This has really penetrated the communities, the parents, the teachers, the schools, and they embrace the question. People are under, who are these Rotarians that think about our candidates at this time when they need support and encouragement? You know what? Let's wait for the results to come, and we'll get another opportunity to go and celebrate with our learners. Friends, I wish I had time, but I want to say that our best days as BELEP are not behind us. Our best days as BELEP are ahead of us. So we still have a lot to do ahead of us, especially now that we're into the holiday time. This time around, we decided we want to make reading a way of life at school, at home, and everywhere. So we are looking forward to our dear day within our communities, in the community libraries. So we look forward to this during the holiday time. Be on the lookout. We'll be guiding you as we continue. So I want to end it at this, moderator. I hope I've used my 3 minutes well to allow time for other panelists. Thank you, moderator, and back to you.
Very much. How in front of. So it's all that we've even started ahead of us. Thank you, Roderick, for that. I go to our district, our chair for the district grants committee, Rotan Kabwama. One, I would like you to tell the audience. The audience, I will request you to keep questions. I'll open the floor. This is actually your, but let me just for 3 minutes each, then I'll open the floor. So keep your questions. We shall open the floor and everyone will be able to ask their questions. So let's move on to Nelson, who chairs the grants committee for District 923. First of all, what is a district global grant? When you talk about a district global grant, we don't want to take anything for granted. We want to what is a district global grant? How different is it from the club, the grants that we make as clubs? How different is it? And then also, I'd like us to tell us what advantages do clubs get by participating in this district global grant? What is the advantage that the Rotary clubs get or Rotaract clubs get? And then also give us an idea of how far are we from where we want to be as far as putting together and implementing this district global grant. Where are we at the moment, and where do we want to be? And also maybe for some, there will be some doubting Thomases around. What assurance can you us that this global grant, district global grant, will be a success. Nelson, you're welcome. I'll just summarize because I've asked a few things. One, what is a district global grant? Is it from grant, the grants we apply for as clubs? What advantages do clubs have to participate in this grant? How far are we as far as this process is concerned, and where do we want to go? Also, what assurance can you give us that the district global grant will be a success? Thank you. Over to you, Nelson.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, colleagues. Quickly, I'll start by saying that a global grant can be sponsored by either club or a district. Now, for a global grant that is sponsored by the district identifies people from within the district to drive that grant. Now, for BELP, the lead club is the Rotary Club of Daybreak. This is the lead club, but with the district, and so basically what you are having is that you have a district-sponsored grant with one club identified to be the lead club. Now, for BELP, as I said, the lead club is the Rotary Club of Daybreak. Now, again, let me emphasize this, that a grant can be sponsored by either club or a district. And for this BELP grant, we have had a discussion with the BELP committee and the district governor, Mike, and agreed that the grant should be driven by the district. So it allows, the advantage is that it allows that when you are drawing up a committee that is required to drive that grant, that you put on the online application, you can get people from different clubs. Whereas for the club-sponsored grant, it's limited to members of your own club. Now, for instance, for this one, we are drawing people from different clubs, including key resources that we have in the district that have very good experience and expertise in the application and review of grant applications. So the chances of having this grant go through and approved are very high, because amongst the people who are the BELP champions, but we also have a great resource that we have drawn from the district to help in the formulation, but also in the review of this grant. Just to mention that we have on the lineup, we have District Grants Vice Chair Amy as a member of the committee. We have district support officers in terms of grants, James Inkoka and Sam Farouk also on the committee, in addition to the other members of BELP, because I know there is some Frederick Ichitakule and a couple of others as the lead group. Now, the advantage, of course, I've already mentioned that the advantage is that you are getting resources that are available to help in driving this process. How far are we? I would just mention that we have had a couple of meetings with the BELP committee. The application process is already initiated. Our international partners, the Rotary Club of Ajax in Netherlands, we continue to have meetings, and the target, we have given ourselves a target that we should have this grant submitted to the Rotary Foundation by 31st December. So we are moving very fast. And a number of things have been lined up that we need to do, including the type of supporting documentation that we have to put together. The necessary MOUs, the drafts have been done. So what we have agreed is that we shall have one uniform MOU. It has been done and it's being discussed so that we can roll it out to the club. So how far I would say that we have 50% done, And the next couple of weeks, we should have at least the grant taken to about 70%, 80% done. Assurances that we will have this grant go through. As I mentioned earlier, the moderator, is that we are using the people, we are using a resource from the district that has done these things before. We know what type of questions that are going to be asked. We know what type of information that is required by the district, but also by the Rotary Foundation. So I can give you assurance that we have 90 to 95% assurance that this grant will come through. So I can leave it at that and give my other colleagues to contribute, but I would be more interested in answering questions from the audience, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nelson, for making a very, very clear distinction between the district grant and the club grant. This now, questions to the end and to flow later on, but thanks for this information shared with us. Next, I'm going to Peter Damzungu. I'm told you come from the East. I think that's where they were. So you're the best placed person to tell us. First of all, I remember they said that just to support you to tell us what are some of the activities that clubs are participating in, which they can in this program. What kind of activity for us to participate in this program? That's one. Secondly, Eastern region, can you give us your experiences so far about the BELEP in the eastern part of the country? And I'm picking on you as a representative of all the other regions. I'm sure once you give us an experience, this could be something that we can assume will also apply to the western, northern, and central parts of the country. So can you just tell us what the clubs are participating in or that they can participate in? Two, what are the experiences from the East? Share them with us. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Peter.
Thank you so much. James, kindly confirm whether I'm loud and clear.
You are loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you, Kampala Daybreak, for giving us this opportunity today. I'll straight away delve into the questions that have been asked to me. One, this global grant is very important, and we are looking at quite a number of activities. The BELEP program has 4 priority areas, and in each of these 4 priority areas, we've lined up quite a number of activities, but also looking into the Rotary areas of focus, and that is where mainly we are drawing our proposed activity schedules. One of the key activities that we are looking at in this grant, we are looking at implementing a number of BELEP activities, and these range from conducting DIA days, putting in place reading tents, promoting school clubs, essay writing, competitions, prizes, and these ones we are targeting to work with and also work through ECDs and primary schools. We are also looking at retooling teachers by conducting trainings, quarterly teacher trainings, and also providing them with kits. We are looking at doing a number of community mobilizations and sensitizations coupled with trainings. And these we are going to look at parents, the primary school directors, the proprietors, and the head teachers, among other different stakeholders that are part and parcel of this program. We are also looking at improving infrastructure and facilities enhancement. Note here that we are interested mainly in improving reading facilities, for example, equipping schools with desks, bookshelves in libraries, looking at water and sanitation facilities, and also planting trees. Here, I want to emphasize, we are not going to do any constructions of classrooms because the guidelines don't allow, but maybe we might look at renovations to some degree, but we are not going to entertain any constructions. We are looking at donation of primers and readers. These readers are storybooks to pre-primary and primary schools. We are also looking at community and economic empowerment through putting in place a microcredit scheme. And we intend to use this to boost parents that are willing and committed, but struggling financially. We are also looking ahead to inculcate a reading culture in children and adults through conducting the Dear Days, just as I've said. We are looking at production of materials. These are teacher-made literacy resources to help enhance education and learning before our learners. And we are also looking at enhancing e-learning and enhancing support structures, both at home and at school. You are aware right now we are looking at the community libraries in that direction. And we shall also enhance community awareness on early childhood care and education through a number of awareness generation programs. So really, the program is looking at a number of activities, and these are going to depend per club according to their plans and available budget that we shall work together to ensure that we qualify and we also implement some of these programs. My experience in the East is that the clubs are upbeat. We've had a number of activities under BELEP. They are about to they are about to 3 regions in the Eastern area, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm quite very sure that there have been part and parcel of the program. We've had a number of activities that we've so far pulled off. The recent one is when we are hosting the district governor during his visits together with the different district entourage team. And we are looking at building on that. So far, we've had quite a number of discussions, even under the 7x7. I'm quite sure that in the East, we've also aligned a number of activities to ensure that we come together to implement the 7x7 approach. And we see that we reach out to more communities and support them. James, that is what I can say in the 3 minutes that you've given me. Over to you, James. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Peter, for that. As members, this is really, when I still used to implement systems, this is what they call an integrated program. It into consideration. I heard Peter talk about even the economic empowerment for the parents. I mean, all other areas are going to be really included in this. So this is a well-designed program, and you can see there's a range of activities. You can't say you failed to see what to do. There's so much to do. And when you look around, everywhere around us, there are schools. So you can't fail to find a nearby school to support. So this is a challenge to all Rotarians and Rotaractors and the guests on this call. We have a very big job in front of us, and let's take on the challenge. Finally, I want to come to my namesake, James Nkoka. As far as I know, is the most experienced person in the area of grants. I can be challenged, but that's what I believe, not just namesake, but that's something I know for sure. So James, you're welcome. And I would like you to first of all, enlighten the audience. How much should a club contribute? How much should a club contribute? Two, how can the clubs pay this money? What is the mechanism in which the clubs can send in their contributions? And then before you leave, I also want to hear, because at the end of the day, how much do the clubs get in return when they participate in this process? So those are the three questions I want you to really handle, especially around how much a club should contribute, making this contribution, what is the mechanism, and what do they get in return when they make a contribution, let's say of $1,000 or $10,000. Can you put some light on that, James?
Thank you, my namesake. And once again, I greet colleagues who want to make the world a better place to live in, and also to look at our younger ones and looking at the risk which we have if we don't really look at the education of the future. Dear members, each club, we would expect that if each club contributed at least 1,500 US dollars, we would have this grant go through appropriately. And it's an all-involving grant, which we think and we agree and strongly believe that we shall be able to achieve all the desired objectives as have been mentioned by my colleagues. You can actually, club can even contribute more out of that. This contribution goes directly to the members of each club. You'll have to furnish up with your Rotary number and the names, and then this will contribute towards your TRF giving. You'll get your points, and this money is going to be directed towards that global grant. Now, on the collections as far as concerned, where we would like you to direct them, the district is going to open up an account, and all collections will go to that collection account of the district, which later will transmit this money to the foundation account for each of the members to be recognized and get their Rotary Foundation points, Policy Fellows, etc., sustaining membership, and all of that. Each individual Rotarian can contribute to become a PHF, sustaining member, or even more. That will greatly be part of the appreciation to the project. And this being really Rotary Giving Foundation Month, we would expect as many Rotarians to contribute towards their clubs in this particular aspect, and actually they will be recognized. So the district account is going to be opened up where these funds are going to be put, and you'll receive the district account in the listed due course of the same. Then how do the Rotary clubs benefit out of that, out of this particular engagement? First, we have many clubs you don't have experience in handling global grants. Now, when you participate in this grant, you already have gained experience, because when we are reviewing grants, you also ask for experience. This is a new club, doesn't have experience. This is a club which has never participated in the global grant, but this gives the clubs the opportunity, a waiver for them really that they have experience in handling grants. That's one of the areas where the clubs would benefit. The second one is, of course, you're getting the PHFs and contributing, assuming your club members, each of your members contributed something. Then they'll actually get recognitions at the district and also at TRF as all giving clubs in one way or the other. Then the third one is the district's going to give us a district designated fund, and also other districts are going to do the same. And on top of your contribution as a club, and all the aspects of the projects which are coming towards you, the project is going to benefit in your particular areas as clubs where you're going to participate and want to put BELP activities. So in addition to the funding you're going to provide, you are going to get a portion of the district designated funds. Of course, this is going to be matched up by TRF, the Rotary Foundation, by an extra 80%. For example, if a district gave in $10,000, we would expect an extra $8,000. That would be 18,000 US dollars. If all this is divided across the board, and your club has contributed maybe 1,500 or 2,000, we shall definitely get more output out of it, compared to your club just getting this money and injecting it into a particular project or area related BELP activities. So in addition to the DDF plus the world funding, we expect at least to add on additional 80% on whatever you would have contributed, or even more, because we are looking at a grant of more than 50,000 US dollars. So in that way, it's important that each club really participates and lowers and gets the advantage of not only reaping out more, because when you get, you actually get more. When you give, you get more. So that's the way we are looking at it on how clubs are going to benefit out of this grant. I think I'm done over that. Let's wait for the questions from the audience.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, for the investment. Finally, before I back to clubs, get more like, I know in this thing something about more information.
Moderator James, Moderator James, sorry, your internet is really intermittent. We can hardly hear you, but maybe for the benefit of the audience, to amplify your question. The question is really, and I think it goes to District Chair Nelson of the grants. Precisely, first and foremost, I want to give some more highlights. One, and thank you, James Inkoka. The account to which we can remit funds is already provided by the district, and it is right now displaying on your screen. You're welcome to take a photo, and you can make use of it appropriately. Shout where you need guidance on the same. So the account is displaying on the screen. It is already provided by the district. Secondly, we are talking about $500,000 global grant. That is the target that we are looking at. Not, I just wanted to clarify a little bit on that. And James, if I picked your question to Nelson, we talk about members and clubs getting their recognitions, but also this money coming back to them to support in their BELP activities. in 1 or 2 minutes, District Chair Nelson, if you can throw light on this, as the moderator was asking, how will this work? How does this work? How will clubs be able to contribute money to the Rotary Foundation attached to BELEP, get their recognition, but also money comes back to support their activities? If you can shed a little more light on the same, how will this work? Nelson, over to you, and then later we can open it up.
Thank you, moderator. Like James explained, clubs that are going to contribute money are going to be recognized. What basically happens is that your funds, the funds that your donation is, you provide details about your account number in terms of RI number, and then of course the club, and then your full names. And that money is credited to your PHF giving. The money is collected will be collected in that collection account. Then it's going to be remitted to the Rotary Foundation with, of course, the 5% processing fees. And then the funds are brought back to our account. Now, for individuals who might not want their funds to go to the Rotary Foundation, what basically happens is that you can ask that your funds are directed to the account that is going to be opened for the grant, because there are two accounts that we are talking about here, if I could make a clarification. The account that you are seeing on display there is the collection account, where clubs are going to put in their money. Once the grant has been approved, the funds now will be either sent to the Rotary Foundation, and where we are going to have our PHF recognitions, and that money will be sent back, or the money can be, you can give instruction to Beatrice at the Rotary office to send the money directly to the account, the global grant account that we require to open as a club. So in a nutshell, moderator, is that whatever money anybody contributes, you not only get the PHF recognition, but that money still comes back to us. 100%, by the way. Unlike the annual programs fund, where 50% of the contribution goes to, your 50% goes to the World Fund, and 50% comes back 3 years later as DDF, this one, 100% comes back to the district. It comes back to us to be able to implement the BELEP project. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
It looks like we've lost you.
Again, we seem to have lost our moderator, but no problem. We will be able to come back to this. I will quickly go through the questions that I can see in the chat section. And the question, I will start with your question, Robert Odeto. What are the key interventions of this grant? And what is the grant size? And how will clubs get involved? I believe this question has been answered in the submissions that have been made. I'll quickly go to another question on the chat section. But as I do this, you're welcome to raise your hand and we'll allow you space to voice your question. We have less time to do this. I see no many other questions in the chat section. And there's another question from Frederick Chitagwenda. Will clubs share on the global grant on a pro rata basis? And I think this can go to you, James Nkoka or Nelson, but James preferably. Will clubs share on the global grant on a pro rata basis? From Frederick Chitagwenda. Nkoka will look at that. Another question.
You have 2 minutes.
I beg your pardon?
You have 2 minutes.
Awesome. So there's another question. How much time does a club have to remit the contribution? And Nelson, you can also attempt to respond to that. Friends, I have only 4 minutes. I can use only 2 minutes to take 2 hands. Anybody has a question that you would like to voice in person, will allow you space. And I'll take only 2 hands since I have only 4 minutes. And I'll allow the 2 minutes to the panelists to respond. I'll take the first hand that has come, Rotarian William Kaguma from the Rotary Club of Kororo, and lastly to DG Mike. In that order, let's take your questions.
Thank you, presenters, and for the good presentation you have given us on BERP. I think, isn't there any possibility that a club can directly contribute to RI on that BERP if you give us the global grant rather than going to the district? I thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe before DG Mike, let me invite AG Sagani. In 30 seconds, ask your question. 30 seconds, AG.
Thank you, Chair Frederick. My question again is, there is a clarification which would be required by the clubs because we are implementing this 7x7 in Eastern Area 1. And the questions asked are that when the clubs fall short of serving the 7x7 project, which they are looking forward to, will there be any district assistance? I mean, in case in way of contribution from the district, means getting it matched or something, or some help from the district such that the 7x7 can be implemented in the complete way. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That has been picked, and I will again direct that to Peter Damzungu, since you're from the East. Lastly, DG Mike, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, panelists. You've demystified global grants at district level, and I think that is going to allow clubs to put their house in order to participate. I just wanted you to throw a little more light, or Peter Damzungu, on the whole notion of inclusive basic education, where we look at our challenged learners. How is this taking care of them? Because we have them in big numbers, and yet we want education to be for all. How does then build into the education for all in terms of the interventions that you have in place? Thank you. I think that is something that needs to come out. But on top of that, are there any deadlines for the clubs to make good, so that there is no time lost in terms of the projected processing of this grant? Thank you.
Thank you very much, DG Mike. I will take 30 seconds to each and every of the panelists to respond to the questions that have been directed to you, and I will respond lastly to the question of inclusion. Starting with you, Peter Damzungu, 30 seconds, 7x7 approach in the clubs from the East. If they fall short, what plan does the district have?
Thank you so much, Chair. The 7x7 approach, again, here, the most viable way we are advising clubs is that all clubs should do contributions within their areas, because we know that each club has taken on one Rotary focus area. So we are advising clubs to look for contributions within their clubs to implement the 7x7 approach. However, where possible, clubs again can also look out for the district grant. They could apply for the district grant in the long term. There are guidelines for applying for the district grant, but I'm also quite aware that they will need a host club amongst the 7 to apply for the district grant. So they can also try that route. They can look at the guidelines for the district grant, and they apply the district grant under the 7x7 challenge. But the short term is that clubs can really work out within themselves, identify a few resources here and there to implement all those activities that they are planning for under the 7x7 challenge. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. James Nkoka, will global grant funds be allocated on a pro rata basis?
Thank you. Chair, yes, this is what is going to happen. And actually each club will get more of whatever it will have contributed towards this. If you contribute 2,500, that 2,500 will come back to your club plus an additional amount of money. That's what I can comment. And that's what is going to be done. Thank you. What
Thank
you
you
give in
very
is what
much.
you will receive plus something more. Yeah.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
time up, moderator. So I'm requesting
Yes, I see time is really up. We can take this
to
later.
give us an additional 5 minutes to conclude. Over to you.
Chair, I want to suggest that I turn back this fellowship to you so you can close for the benefit of those that would like to excuse themselves. And maybe I can request the panelists to stay behind for maybe 10, 15 minutes for us to respond to the 2 questions that are remaining and address if there are any other challenges.
Okay, so basically what we're saying is that we are going to move the discussion into the Chimeza session. For now, we are going to conclude our meeting. First, I would like to request PAG Timothy Basima to give us a vote of thanks. We shall share the statistics in our various social media fora. And then finally, I'll request PP Johnson to give us the final toast. Over to you, PAG Timothy.
Thank you very much, President. To say that almost in answering questions, the vote of thanks has been loud and clear because questions were answered clearly. Thank you to Fred. The ABC of Rotary is on your fingertips. There is no question that you haven't put to order, and we are very happy that we are having you as our team leader. James Nkoka, the upcoming all the grants write-ups are always on your hands. The highlights on contributions per club and procedure have been put forward by you. We thank you very much. Nelson Kabwama, the different global grants, the difference between the global grant and the district grant has been clearly put to table and to rest, and I know members on call have appreciated your contribution on differentiating the two. To Peter Damzungu, the upcoming activities have been highlighted, and the priority areas of focus in this kind of activities have been put to order by you. James Onyoin, who went offline, we also thank you for being online and offline at the same time. President, everything has been so good, and we wish we would have had them for more time. I hand over back to you, President. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, PAG Timothy, for such a befitting vote of thanks. My past president, Jamson Kalimani, the floor is yours. Please lead us through the final toast.
Thank you very much, amazing President. And thank you all that have been on this call for the wonderful fellowship we have had, for the amazing talk we have had from our super panelists. Let us toast to Rotary International.
Rotary world.
Rotary.
Rotary the world over.
Thank you.
Rotary the world over.
Rotarians, Rotaractors, and guests, we've just moved into the Mesa session. Just in case you have burning questions or issues that you need to be clarified, we still have a few more minutes. Moderator, how many minutes are you giving us?
I think we'll take a maximum of 15.
15 minutes. We have 15 minutes for this Mesa session. Over to you, moderator.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I will take it on from the question that was raised by Rotarian William Kaguma. I see the response was given by you, Nelson Kaguma, in the chat section, that can a club remit funds directly to Rotary International? And I would like, you said yes, but I would like you to speak a little more into this because there is a clarification that is so. do they remit funds quoting the global grant even before the grant has been approved? Maybe you can speak into that a little more. District Chair Nelson, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it's possible to send the money directly to the Rotary Foundation, quoting and tagging it to the global grant, global grant. What basically you need to do, Chair, is provide the global grant number, and the funds can be sent directly to the Rotary Foundation. Now, if the grant is approved, it's directly credited, but if it's not, then it's taken to the annual programs fund. So it's possible, but all that we need to do is that you have to clearly indicate that it's tagged onto the global grant. Then, of course, let me also quickly answer the question with which we came in with regard to how much time do we have to remit the fund. As I indicated earlier, that the plan is to have the grant submitted by end of December, by 31st December. We normally, the review process at the Rotary Foundation takes up just about a month. Now, we are encouraging clubs to put the money there now, because this is the TRF month and there's quite a bit of money that normally clubs have. But also, normally from January onwards, the flow of funds, things slow a bit down, and we won't take advantage of this. So I would say that we have up to end of January to remit the money, but if we can have it put in the collection account by end of December, that will be very helpful. Back to you, moderator.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that insight and for that guidance. I would like quickly speak into the question that has been raised by our amazing district governor. What is the position of children with special needs? We seem to be focused on children of mainstream. We did say from the onset that at the BELEP Secretariat, we are very, very, very inclusive. We ensure there's diversity, equity, and inclusion in its fullness. So children with special needs are not neglected. So what are we doing already? First and foremost, we are already talking to the children with special needs. We have identified, we continue to identify them. So they are also catered for. We have a list of books that is being generated for children with special needs. Children with special needs have their special category of books to read. Okay, so if you have these schools, approach us and we'll guide you. First and foremost, we have a whole team lead and a whole committee for inclusion, to ensure that children with special needs are not left behind. So please, if you have this category of children, come to us. So we'll definitely ensure that one, they are equally, their teachers require a special attention. And by the way, first and foremost, in the trainings that we give the mainstream teachers, we also give them a portion of how do you identify that a child has special needs, because the most important stage is to start from identifying them. So the first thing we do, how do you identify that these children has special needs? And then after that, we go to teachers that are specialized in these areas, and we are also going to give them, and we are planning to give them empowerment, but also special learning materials for these children. Some of the blind need braille materials and all that. So we are putting together a portion of books and material that can be bought to support these children. This will be shared wide and far at the district level in the near future. But also, as a club, should you be working with a category of children with special needs, shout, and we'll be able to come to you and see how can you benefit as a club, how can you channel your contribution to the BELEP Global Grant to address this. Okay, I think these are the questions that were raised from the audience before we go to end the fellowship, but I know that there are many other questions that may not have been really tapped. And this is what I would request to do. I will really request that we engage as much as we can. So raise your hand, we'll allow you space. And the panelists are all here to address your questions. We have 10 minutes to go. So you raise your hand, we'll allow you space. I see the first question comes from Anne Musoke. And I want to guide that let's strictly focus our questions on the district BELEP Global Grant for this Rotary year. This is where we are focusing for this session. Rotarian Anne Musoke, I will definitely allow you space to voice your question.
Thank you very much, Chair Belp. I had put my question in the chat room, and I was wondering that if the district doesn't get clubs to raise the required funds, what is going to happen to the funds thereafter? Because last time we contributed directly to disease prevention, and were never told what happened thereafter. So I want to, is it possible for the district to give what happens if funds are not, if the grant doesn't come through?
Okay, I think I will take that to Nelson. What happens if a club or an individual remits funds and maybe, but I think it was responded to, but maybe you can speak into that, Nelson, yet again. Nelson, over to you.
For funds that are put in the collection account, that money is going to be at the Rotary Foundation. You will still give instructions on how you want it remitted and where it should go. First, you can go to polio plan, it can go to annual programs fund, it can go to the World Fund directly, the permanent fund. So the money that is already here that is not yet submitted, remember the collection account, money will be in Kampala, will be at the Rotary office. Okay, that means that you still have access to that money as a club. For funds that are going to be sent directly to the Rotary Foundation, tagged onto the project where you have already put the project number. Once the project is not approved, then it goes to the annual programs fund. It's remitted directly, but you still get the recognition the way you get it. But let me also say this quickly, that our efforts in this is not to have a project not approved. I can assure you that we have 95% chances that this project will come through. Thank you, Chair.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I will take your question, Rotarian Robert Odedo from Aisha.
Thank you very much, President Frederick, for moderating this session and for this amazing project that you are presiding over. This question goes to Nelson Kabwama. Just throw more light on the funding modalities from TRF presently. I think you mentioned a little bit about how the matching is going to be, and that if we raise a certain amount of money, TRF will match a certain amount. Just throw more light so that clubs can understand how this mechanism is operating presently, because there have been some changes lately. Thank you.
Okay, I think you can take that straight away.
Okay, thank you, Robert, for that question. Quickly to answer is that the global grant can be funded through first contributions, cash contributions from clubs. One, it can be funded by DDF from the districts. It can also be funded from other non-Rotary entities. Now, for this particular global grant, what we are looking at is that we are having clubs making a contribution. And that is what we're actually talking about now, mobilizing clubs. But also, so that contribution is not matched by the Rotary Foundation. So it will remain the way it is. The district 9213 will give you district designated funds. This one is yet to be determined. But given that it's a district-driven grant, you're going to have a fairly sizable amount of DDF, which could be about $10,000. So this $10,000 is matched by the Rotary Foundation by 80%. So if they give you 10,000, like Ngoka said, you'll be able to get 8,000 from the Rotary Foundation. But remember that this club has also international partners. These international partners, I already mentioned that our international partner is the club of Ajax. The club is going to put in money as well. But their district is going to put in money. But also the international partners are looking out for other districts to put in DDF. So that is the matching. So their DDF also is going to be matched by the Rotary Foundation by 80%. So, but their cash contributors as clubs like our clubs will not be matched. So the matching, if I could just summarize, is that for cash contributions from clubs, it's not matched. So it remains the way it is. The DDF from the district is matched, and the DDF comes from both the host district, but also the international districts. I don't know whether that makes it simple and clear.
Awesome. Now that we know that actually as a club, if you want to do your remittance, you need to do it directly, it is well. All you need to do is quote the global grant number, which is right now displaying on your screen. We already have a global grant number. You are welcome to take a screenshot of that global grant number. So for any remittance that you made or you want to, those that already remitted money to Rotary International without quoting the global grant number, the question is to you, James Nkoka, what will happen? We have colleagues that have already remitted money directly to the Rotary Foundation. They did not remit it to the district. They did not quote the global grant number that I'm submitting. What befalls? What happens to that money? As you prepare to answer that question, James Nkoka, allow me pick AG Judy to kindly voice your question.
Yeah, thank you, CNP Frederick, Chair Belep, and thank you, Daybreak. I have benefited from the information. There's been quite a bit of confusion, and I would just add that this information that we received here is widely disseminated so that clubs can understand. On my part, I'll share it with my Area 3. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. If you do not attach the global grant number where the funds are going to be sent, that money will go to the annual programs fund. It is as simple as that. Actually, that TRF does not have anything to do with that. That is credited directly to the annual programs fund. It can't be reversed to the global grant. I think I've answered that. It's only money where you have attached the global grant number that will be credited to the global grant account. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, moderators. I think we have less than 3 minutes to bring this to a close to allow colleagues embark on their day's engagements. But I don't want to leave any stone unturned, any question unanswered too. So should you have a question, you have only 2 minutes. Raise your hand and I'll allow you 30 seconds to voice your question. But as I wait for you to...
President Frederick, I
yes.
have one which I wanted to
we'll
raise
be back.
Yes, mine is to, yeah, I've been around. And mine is to DG Mike Sebalu and Peace if he's on the call. These good things are being done on District 9213, but how I wish this could be done across Uganda, and that means those clubs which belong to District 9214, and I know Jaja Muzungu is here. Maybe going into the future, I would like to know what is being done to harmonize some of these programs. Even if we're from different districts, it will be unfortunate to have one part of the district learning and the other part may not be on this program. So I just wanted to, it may not be for now, but at least going into the future, how do we, I don't know, either Frederick or Governor Mike can.
I'm available to throw light.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question and observation. Definitely, these programs benefit all Rotary Rotarians across the country, and they are promoted as such. But it is interest-based. You cannot simply enforce it from the point of delivery, but those that are interested can tap into the infrastructure available to partake of the same. And definitely, education can never be limited just to a district, just like maternal and child health cannot be. All areas of focus cut across the entire country. And our viewpoint and encouragement is that those clubs across the country that have an interest in BELEP can always be supported and can tap into the infrastructure. And even for the case of the village ambulance, I'm encouraging clubs in the District 9213 to partake of the same. And in the 7x7 that was inaugurated the other day, Weyogerere, the Ginger Road corridor, the Rotary Club of Weyogerere Central is going to purchase a tuk-tuk ambulance as part of their 7x7 dealing with matters of maternal and child health. So these projects don't have boundaries. These projects don't have limitations in access, and we encourage clubs to partake of any project, be it domiciled in 9213 or 9214, and tap into the available infrastructure and the available teams that support. For instance, any clubs within District 9213 that want to participate in the village ambulances, then you don't have to reinvent the wheel and try to work it out back and forth. There is a very core capacity in District 9214, and there is a team that can be very supportive. And we encourage our clubs across to participate in all activities, in all projects, in all programs for the benefit of our communities. So the straight answer is that there are no boundaries and there are no restrictions. If anything, we encourage clubs to respond to the needs of their communities. If the need is in the ambulance, then the project to undertake and give special attention in that particular community should reflect that community need. So we have flagship projects, but they don't exclude, they're not mutually exclusive. So I hope that answers James' concern.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Mike. I'm very happy with that.
Just to patch in something onto that, we are one of the four priority areas. DG, you're still submitting?
I'm simply saying, it is there's no restriction, there's no boundary. The answer is a club is at liberty to implement any project within an area of focus of choice and responding to the needs of the community that they serve. So there shouldn't be anything to do with this is for this is for that. All the projects are available for all of us. The tukutuku is available for all of us, and the BELEP is available for all of us. So that is the straight answer. And that is the strategic view of the team leaders. Myself and my brother Peace, we just brought these ideas to be applied across board on a need by need basis. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I think that pretty much answers the question, but maybe to add in something very small. One of the priority areas, James, as you see, is we are going to inform policy. Policy is a national policy. So even without doing anything, the country will benefit from the information that we are going to avail to the policy review committee. I saw your hand up and I want to take your question as the last one. William Kaguma.
Thank you, moderator. My question and maybe a comment is, BEREP is a good project, and it has all the components. It has all the everything that we need in any project. But it comes and it goes. What strategies have we put in place that this one will not be like any other project that DGs start, and when they go, it ends with them? Thank you.
Yes, I don't know whether I'm better placed to answer that, but I will definitely give you, speaking to the plan. The plan is—
Can I comment?
Yes, James, go ahead. Go ahead, James.
It's a nice question from Rotarian William. I've been at least observing the programs, and ideally I can say these programs are actually continuous. I'd say, for example, Mission Green is continuous, and we are really looking it and seeing many clubs participating in it. MCH, we have got quite a number of global grants which are still running, and the programs, they are running really. And they are taking quite— there's also already a committee which took it as a program, and we normally have meetings in that particular aspect. The same to environment, tree planting, that Mission Green. Then the other one is also, there's this one which was handled by PDG in Sivirwa. We are also having quite a number of programs for this. Vijanapo, we're having a number of programs still in the same area, and the clubs are really taking them on. The good thing is that they still fall into the 6 focus area, the 7 focus areas. And what I can reassure you that these programs are still running and they are on. Thank you very much.
Great response. I don't have to say anything, but it will not be any different for the basic education and literacy enhancement program. We have a very capable secretariat and district team that will continue supporting clubs implement basic education and literacy enhancement projects and interventions. We are here to support you. I've seen clubs sign 3-year memorandums of understanding with schools. I've seen clubs sign 5-year strategic plans and memorandum of understanding with schools. So yes, we will continue and we'll carry forward. And we're here to support clubs that would so wish to carry forward this very, very important intervention. Friends, the Baganda say Nalima Wagonda, meaning that even the best dancer leaves the floor. Edward, you could have a question.
Can I say something?
Yes.
For conclusion?
Yes, DG.
Yeah, and it is related to continuity and the sustainability. The program chair, Frederick, is already seized with an opportunity to see the secretariat going beyond this year of Rotary service. And the fact that we used the word enhancement, that presupposes that at any one time, there will be gaps within our basic education arrangements that may need to be filled with interventions from Rotary. So we see that happening for a lot longer than 1 year. And we already putting modalities in place, systems and structures to continue enhancing basic education and literacy in various ways and possible ways. So I would like to say that we may be around for some time, as long as the gaps within our basic education systems do prevail, and we have to make interventions around the same, along the lines of other equally important programs that have come up and that continue to be sustained and creating better environment for the welfare of our people. So that is, we are not looking at it as an event. We are not one-off. We are in for a long haul beyond this Rotary year of service. Thank you.
Frederick, can I add something to Governor?
I think you can close it up. Give your...
Okay. The other thing, of course, we're exploring with the chair of the BELEP, Frederick, it is to register BELEP as one of the programs under Rotary Uganda. And once we're through with this process, I think he's already talking with the company secretary for Rotary Uganda Limited. And once this takes effect, then this program will be there for eternity. Because once you register a program under Rotary Uganda, that goes into eternity. So it will live beyond us. So don't have worries. This is a going concern. It's not closing anytime soon. Even our grandchildren who become Rotarians will run this. So thank you very much for that. I want to thank all the panelists and all the members. It has been a great event being with you, and thank you for even giving us extra 30 minutes. It has been beneficial, but if there are any questions that are not answered, please send them to the chair for the BELEP, our Mr. BELEP, Frederick Chitakule, Rotarian Frederick Chitakule, and his committee. This can be answered and shared with the entire, brotherhood, or sisterhood of Rotary and within our two districts. Thank you very much. You've been a good audience. Thank you for the great questions, for the great suggestions. Thank you, Governor Mike, for gracing the occasion personally, and to all the Rotaractors and guests here. Every time I pass through the airport, I feel very sad. We're exporting, the kind of workers we shouldn't be exporting, house help and so on. But if we focus on this program, we can create a knowledge base and we can be exporting probably services in the high-tech area from Uganda. Thank you very much, and I wish you a great week. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, amazing moderator. That was an amazing job indeed, exceptionally done. Thank you, Rotaractors, Rotarians, and our guests that have stayed on for over 30 minutes. I would like to wish you a great day and weekend, and hopefully we can meet on Saturday at the TRF Culture Dinner and Dairy Culture Center. Thank you.
President. President.
Yes, Rotaractor, I'm okay.
My personal observation, our clubs are always left out on the list. It is after strong struggle to have our names appended onto the list.
We will have that sorted. Rotaractor, I'm okay. I will have, I'll talk to my Sergeant at Arms to rectify that. And thank you for
this is a personal, President. Can I share your number, get your number, please?
My number is, can you write?
Yes, I can.
0752
Yes.
00.
Yes.
84.
Yes.
44.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all we had for today. Looking forward to meeting you on Saturday and welcoming you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.